All right, so it's 12 o'clock midnight, and you see this? This is what you call somebody who is basically seeing that my life is passing by because at 34 years old, I have successfully run a business before the COVID pandemic came out because, whether it was the government or people just didn't really want to follow through with the basic safety guidelines because they wanted to be all, like, oh God, I don't want to get a vaccine, or oh God, I don't want to wash my hands, or maybe I'll spit in people's faces because I'm a spiteful piece of crap. No, I'm out here at 12 o'clock because I live with somebody who's a narcissist who won't leave my home. I've got, antisocial norms that everyone's indoctrined in their life now where, a person like me, no matter how nice I am to somebody, just middle finger to this dude. Who cares about his feelings? Who cares about showing a little bit of empathy and care and concern? Who cares what someone's suffering through? You got the richest people in the world. They could fix a lot of issues, but they don't give a damn. You know what they teach us? Average, low-income families and regular poor folks every day. We're out here fighting the good fight on our own. And we have to deal with each other in our narcissism and their negativity and our hate and discrimination on the bottom of the streets. And you think we'd look at each other and say, hey, maybe I don't hate my next door neighbor. Maybe I don't hate this person over here. Maybe I won't judge this person, look at them differently, treat them differently. People use religion like it's a shield barrier on most of these dating sites. You can't believe how many people claim to be true Christians, claim to be, whatever they want to claim that they are. And they're trying to force religion down people's throats over love and connections. If you can't even get through basic life without fighting over politics and basic indifferences, what difference does it make how long you're going to live your life if all you're going to do is create misery and woe and problems for everybody else? I give a great, hospitable home for other people to live in. And the truth is, every person that's ever matched with me, whether it's been on dating sites, in real life, they all do the same thing. Ghost. In real life, it's even worse because you have to sit there and actually watch a person right there in front of you, take everything that you've done and contributed, shared, and put forth the effort to pour out of your heart and soul, every ounce, even to the tiniest fraction of even giving them a piece of that. And another funny thing, I almost said the word Fortnite. Everyone thinks that's just related to the video game. No, Fortnite was a phrase that came out way before the video game came out for Fortnite. That's a fun fact for you, generations from Gen X and other generations who don't understand that Fortnite is a generational term that was used back even when Gen X was around, which would be like the 80s, and I was raised by most of my family members who were at least born in like the 40s and the 40s and 50s. So for me, I'm a millennial who was raised around a slightly older generation, and what do I got to deal with every day as I listen to music that's from those older generations that I value and I appreciate by many generations that are dying and they're falling off the grid? I'm going to be the last person of my kind amongst the few other old souls out there that actually value and care for old classical music, maybe dancing, maybe going and enjoying a comfortable moment. But for everybody else, no, video games, social media, having your mind absorbed into such negative paradoxes, antisocial abnorms, to not even look at a person and treat them like a human being because they themselves can't even cope with their own issues, their own struggles, their own antisocial norms. So what, we're going to become this dystopia of disconnected people where the male population can't even get with most females based on all these new paranormal functions of what people have treated everyone like they're just a weird, bizarre, as I was just stating, their paranormal factor towards something that just relates toward a guy is only interested in sex. So, if he's trying to get my number, he's trying to become my friend, a woman just can automatically assume that that's all he's interested in, and vice versa. A guy just thinks a woman is only after his money. It's funny thing is, we already know on the average for most females of whom are so interested in a guy, it's not even about the money anymore. No, it's just like, let's make the guy open up and tell him, tell us like everything they can get out of him. And then basically, they just ghost the dude. Like, once they think that they know a guy enough, they try to act like they've got a psychology degree and act like they can evaluate a dude based on his life. It's funny. The children of the future need to make a difference. And I don't think the children are going to have that chance at this rate with the way that we adults are destroying the fundamentals of what children will have. The movies like Children of the Corn, I think back on those, and those are pretty disturbing because those are fictional horror movies where, there's a cult of children and they basically didn't trust adults anymore, so they started killing off all the adults. I haven't watched those movies in full detail, but, the reality is we adults kill each other and we're leaving children to watch that. So in a way, we kind of are living in, in a Children of the Corn theme because we're way too complicit in our government and everything else with all these screwed up norms. Got sexual predators still flocking the web, trying to meet up with underage girls. You can watch YouTube channels like Cinematose Ken and, Dads Against Predators and stuff. But what's crazy is we still got that going on. And yet we don't even have stabilization and functionality in our own country. We're so divided Now we're split between extreme left and extreme right. Criminal Donald Trump or Kamala Harris and J.D. Walls, which apparently this crazy guy I met at a blood bank, he actually started a debate in the middle of a blood plasma donation. Toward the end of my donation, started debating me when I wasn't even trying to debate. This is what I mean by that toxicity, that abnormally. I mean, he's up in his upper 40s, into his 50s, and he's sitting there while we're in the middle of donating blood plasma, which is doing a good deed for other people. He's sitting there trying to debate me on Trump is apparently not much more of a criminal because Kamala Harris is a criminal. And he started going on a rant about it. And I'm just like, man, dude, no, I'm sorry. You're not going to be able to convince me anything about Donald Trump. What's funny is once we lose our current candidates and the current ways that things are going, it looks like it's just hopelessly lost for the future. And I'm not saying that because I'm a cynic. I know it's true. I mean, think about the leaders and the people we're going to have to run our country and the people we're going to grow to it. If we have younger generations that are taking over Congress and taking over political leadership, and they're coming out with stupid idiots like we see on the Republican side, you can list a few. Marjorie Taylor Greene. There's a few others. Yeah, she's number one. She takes top of the cake for Karen gone batshit crazy. Can run that shit. Run our nonsense. People like that shouldn't even be in our Congress, but they're out there embarrassing our country. They're out there making a mockery. A good Congress is one you don't hear about stuff getting done. And in the old days, that's usually how it usually was. Now we hear everything that they're doing. How embarrassing is that for us? It's disgraceful. Like we're sitting here in America and we watch the news, we watch these dead shows, dead end beat shows about all these reality and policies and stuff. We're so consumed with everything that has nothing to do with our daily lives. We're less interested in actually making a difference in our local community and our local places. Heck, I already know what it's like being down here and where I live in the Space Coast, Melbourne, when you got to deal with the police. You try calling them here, the only time they're going to care about you is if you're on your deathbed, literally threats of murder or near death or an actual attack. They don't give a damn about showing up at your door. They act like it's an exhausting ordeal to even show up and even be there. Like, we're not borderline third world country, but my gosh, thank goodness I have my own right to carry and bear my own arms. I have my own police. Down here, they seem to think, because I can complain about certain elements of unruly tenants, like of which I have to deal with that won't leave my damn house. And when I say won't leave my damn house, 3 months ago said, I'm leaving soon. Soon is in the same category of in several, like when you count in the number 1, 2, 3. It's already been 3 months and dude's still here, and he only does is drink. He's only been on a clean, non-drinking binge for 13 days now since I posted notes on my door that publicly shame the fact that he's killing himself, drinking a gallon of beer 4 times a week. And he drinks crap beer, by the way, Bud Light. So, on my other videos, I made that claim, and that's a true fact. That's something I've recorded here. I have all the beer cans in my garage in 50-gallon trash bags. I just tried to, download a mod to enjoy classic Fallout 3 and classic Fallout New Vegas, and that didn't go so well. And because of it crashing on me, I just got frustrated and figured, what the heck? And a recent contact that I had in my phone recently just told me that apparently I don't mean much to this person anymore. But what's interesting is it was super interesting and super nice, and this person was apparently gay. I didn't even care about the fact of his sexual and gender issue or whatever his sexual placement was. What bothered me most is that I'm okay with those of who are in the LGBT world because I myself am demisexual. I'm not even embarrassed to admit it. And what most people think when they hear the term demisexual and they're conservative or Christian or right-wing or any other group out there, they just hear the word sexual and they think that the person who's saying it means that they're interested in something sexual. No, demisexual actually defines as someone who cannot physically be in a relationship or connection unless a bond is formed between that person and another. And a bond is in the context of being more than just friends, having a deep, meaningful connection like best friends or deep and meaningful, which I don't even think most people even value friendships these days because if, again, back on what I was talking about before, hardly anybody takes the time to actually care about another person's well-being, their placement, say something nice, make a good moment, be decent, be civil. I'm lucky I even have people right now who I can count on to pay my rent, and I thought, and in all due context and fairness, I was doing a good deed because, hey, a lot of people should be saying it's a blessing to find affordable living. I wish I could run a stream of apartments and help out a lot more people, but I can only afford to rent out and share my home since apparently I'm not so blessed to find a single partner or woman since I've lived here in my area for 8 years. It's been 8 years. There hasn't been one single real human being who's ever made genuine interest or contact to be more than friends, just to use me, lie to me, misrepresent a friendship, try to take advantage of the decency. So all I got to say is, the rate we're going, you better be dang sure it's such a surprise that we come out with all these movies talking about heroes and villains and criminals, when in everyday life, we are making the villainy of our own future to a very sad and lonely outcome. And I'll tell you one thing, I'm not going to stand by and watch children have to grow up in a world like that every single day. That is driving me absolutely insane. It's bad enough I can't have my own kids, I can't raise my own children, and have my own passionate, loving, growing family with someone to put the fires at rest in my soul. But I'd be damn sure hell I am not going to let children grow up in a world where this is what we have taught them, is to be so bigoted and complicit with ignorance and hate that is spread so vigorously throughout our country and amongst ourselves in society, where the rich start to look like they're a better class than the poor just because they're selfish and they keep to themselves and they keep their own money. And I'm listing all of them, including the ones that give to charity. Don't care what their names are, what their associations are. If they wanted to make a difference, they could start making massive differences in this world. Because funny thing I read what is it? My God, Jimmy John's. Warren Buffett, there's like a staple they got there, and any Jimmy John's you go in, if you got a Jimmy John's near you, check it out. There's like a Warren Buffett thing, the 10 rules to live by Warren Buffett. And his greatest achievement is donating money and doing good for others to show love and appreciation and affection. That's the greatest power of wealth that you can achieve, is a love of affection and kindness and appreciation, doing good for others so that they will turn to you and look at you and love you for who you are, based on the merits of your good deeds, not based on the fact of how much money you have, how much capital you have, how much property and material items you own, but the function of what you would do with what you have. And I have always been a long time envisionment of that, long before I even read that quote in the Jimmy John's, which is up on like a placard, funny little thing to like honor Warren Buffett, who, whatever the case. But anyway, that's all I got to say for tonight. I guess I'll be up for a while, because apparently somebody at my age, who cares about my lifespan? I don't smoke, I don't drink. Yeah, my family might be bothered by some of the stuff I say in this video, but you know what? My family's on a separate side. They'll be there for me. I'll always love them. On the notion of having my family and having one for myself, it seems like that is a next to near impossible factor in this day and age, because where in the world can I possibly go to find a genuine person out there that isn't trying to waste somebody's time, play mind games, be manipulative, be cold, be fake, be all the things that you can get more so out of a bot or a fake scam call. You can get more action and more fun, and this is why, as sad as this is to say, sex toys, male pleasure toys, robots, sex bots, it's no surprise that stuff has become a norm from back in like the early 2000s and proceeding in becoming a bigger hit in the later, I'd say later, like 2020, I think it was more so talked about, and 2019, 2018, it was talked about even more so. It's a wonder why there's people in the world that want to dress up like animals, like the furries. Like, I'm a furry, you'll see me dressing up. I would love to have a costume, but the person making that for me, don't know when that's ever going to be complete. And I'm sure I'd get hate for that too, because I dress up like what I want to envision myself and my spiritual animal. And my spiritual animal is pretty common, but the origination of it is not so common, based on how I know it, because I never got raised to go to church. I never got raised to be around a lot of the type of animal functionality or nature, like survival functions that my inner animal spirit side comes from. My inner animal side is more like I was raised on a wilderness format with no human contact whatsoever, like an actual wild animal. And I don't even know where it comes from. And apparently I talked to a female who blocked me, of course. She said, oh, that's not uncommon, after she learned about my furry side. And then she ended up blocking me for no apparent reason, just because she got tired of the fact that I was a nice, genuine person who was straight up and honest. And it seems like everybody wants liars, manipulators, and cheaters. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I never had kids, never hit a woman. I mean, what more can a man try to be in this day and age at his age while he watches the years just slip away? It's an infuriating function, especially, again, when it brings me back to the thought of the children. And I'm going to leave it at that. The kids. It's all about the kids. So, thank you for watching.